Hey everybody, it's Dr. Tim, and I got my good friend Keith on a call here. And Keith, I want to share with people, your journey in the past 4 months, really 5 months now. And you and I met out at a vendor fair, exhibitor fair, a few months before that. And, something with you just kind of clicked, and you had awesome questions, and I could tell that you were, wanting some help. And, so we were a good match, and we kind of went forward with some things. And what we did is we created a study that we did, and it was to introduce a formula, a raw food ingredients that has been clinically studied to affect so many different things in the body, kind of like our normal food. But when we can do that in a more concentrated way, more deliberately, it's been a game changer. So the Epic Tea study and the program that you were on was very simple. It was clean diet, 3 Epic Tea per day and 3 scoops of seed. And, we did a bunch of diagnostics, pre, middle, and post, and we're still doing that with you, post program, post 90 days. But I just want to share, man, I want to try to, get people some motivation. As you know, I'm not a big fan of most of the mainstream solutions. I think most people are starting to catch on to the fact that medications are the fourth cause of death. And it's just not a great solution unless I have a crisis situation. And always follow your doctor's recommendations, of course. I'm not giving medical advice here, but there's other stuff out there that has been proven to work well, and just our discipline and habits are really key. There's no secret thing out there, like the Ozempics and all these things that people are using, man. People are getting sick from these things. So my mission is to find the safest, most effective things out there to biohack, anti-age, help my patients, help myself, help my family. And I think I've told you before, I haven't been to a medical doctor in 25 years. We're not against medical doctors, but once you understand how the system works, they're great at saving your life. If there's a crisis intervention needed, absolutely. As far as optimization of health and functional medicine and things that actually improve our physiology, that is natural, causative habits and lifestyle, really, that's a whole different conversation. And so thank God for our doctors for those life-saving techniques. But I'm in the business of getting people healthier, and I want to change people's, energy, without using coffee and using stimulants, and actually impact physiology, the safest, most sustainable way possible. So I wanted to share your story because you are one of our rock stars in this journey. And, it was a match made in heaven, but you took it and ran with it. And I just want to share people the progress that you've made in a very short time, technically, with, considering how long things take to develop in our body, right? A heart attack takes years and decades of artery clogging before we have the first symptom of what we call heart disease, which is usually the heart attack or a stroke. But that's usually the first symptom of that slow, long process. And that's where most people are. They don't realize it. They don't feel quite right. So I just want to start out with, how did you feel? Where were you at before we started this very simple, yet powerful journey with you, and kind of where you were at pre 90-day study?
Sure. Well, Dr. Tim, number one, I want to say thank you. My life has changed completely since I met you at Expo West in California. Um, and your program has just been incredible for me. When I met you, I was very overweight. My A1C was through the roof. I felt horrible every single day. I ached pain every day. It was all I could do to get out of bed in the morning. And that's not exaggeration. I pushed through it because I had to. I had to push through it for my family and for me. Meeting you was a blessing. Met you at that show, saw what you were doing, read your literature right there in your booth, and, overheard you speaking about this program to somebody else. And I interjected and asked you, hey, Dr. Tim, is there a way I can be involved? Is there a way I want to get well? I want to change my life like you're talking to this gentleman about. How do I do that? And you took the time. You didn't know me at all. You took the time to pull me aside and say, hey, here's what we got. Here's what we can do. I'd love to talk to you at a different time and lay it out for you. Go through what you think you need, do some evaluations, and the rest is history. You set me up. I came to you. I started the process. I went through the first 45 days, the second 45 days, and so on. And my labs and blood tests don't lie. We all know that blood tests do not lie. And I literally, in my opinion, after seeing those blood tests and reviewing those with my wife and family, I had one foot in the grave. Like, I don't meet you, I'm probably not here in another year. Okay, if I kept on that track. So what you did for me is unbelievable. What the products did for me is unbelievable. I'm still noticing every week changes in my body, in everything from getting better sleep to more stamina working out. You put me on a workout program and a regimen, a diet that I follow. Um, Healthy for you, better for you supplements that you put me on. The whole Epic Tea program and process. So again, I'm just very thankful for that and super happy that my labs are coming back every time we do them as much better. So, at the rate I'm going right now, I consider myself healthier than I was, but I want to get to really, really healthy. And your journey is going to get me there. And for that, I thank you.
Yeah, man, it's incredible what you've done. And so I've teared up many times thinking about you. And I'm proud of you. You've done incredible. So what would you tell people that are in your position, 4 months ago, 5 months ago? How would you help them? What would you say to them?
Man, I would say I've been to the doctors, the traditional doctors out there, and they always want to put me on, different things that, once I researched those things and realized, man, this is not really healthy for me, between statins and all the, weight loss drugs and everything they wanted to put me on. To me, it just felt like it was a quick fix, that it was going to do more harm than good. So my advice to everybody is to get on a holistic program, follow what you're doing, get on the Epic Tea program, get on what you're preaching out there, because I'm a believer. At the end of the day, blood tests don't lie, and what you've done for me is incredible. And listen, man, since I've been on this journey, I've cried myself to sleep many times. When I saw those first tests that you shared with me, I was like, man, am I going to make this? Am I going to live to support my wife and kids and be here for them? And I made a decision after I saw that blood test and everything that you told me and walked me through. I said, I'm going to do it. So my advice to everybody out there is make a commitment to yourself, commit to the program, do the things you're supposed to do on this program, and it will work for you. I'm living proof of that. You can see by my blood tests that, this is what I've done, and I'm going to continue to get better. I'm going to continue to lose weight. I'm going to get to my goal weight. And also, Doc, it helps to have somebody like you driving me and giving me that confidence that I need to make it to that next level, because I don't know if I'd have been here. So that's what I say to everybody who's going to watch this video is you have to commit to it. You have to commit to it 100%. You have to do it. You have to follow it. It's not going to be handed to you. You got to earn it. So that's my advice to anybody who watches this.
Absolutely. And that's what I mentioned, the discipline, but also the tools, and so you took it and had faith in it. I think the biggest thing out there with people struggling, there's a lot of programs out there. I've seen them all. I've participated in most of them. And there's a lot of wacky stuff going on out there. So it's hard to tell what's real and what's not. So I think what we've come across is just so many skeptical people, and stories like yours is going to help change those people, because there's so much crap out there. I see it all the time at these trade shows and this and that. And, take this pill, it'll change everything in your body for the positive. And again, I want to remind people, this is not a treatment for something. It's functional nutrition. It's a lifestyle modification program. We're not treating anything. We're not trying to, cure any diseases. It's just changing those daily habits that we know can be powerful, but people are impatient. So I think the two things that people fail with is they're impatient. They don't give it enough time. They don't have the right data to start with. They don't have, they have some data. We go to our yearly physical. This is a pet peeve of mine, and we get 20 or 30 labs run. And if you look at those labs, they're all designed for medications. And I know in my lifestyle, at least, I don't want to use medications. I want to find the other tools that affect these things without the invasive side effects. But when you measure 20 to 30 things out of 3,000 things, the minimum that I can measure in your blood and stool and other, resources, it's less than 0.01% of the picture. So if we're going to our yearly physical and just getting 20 or 30 labs done, understand it's a prescription model and we want to catch those diseases, of course. Keep going to your doctor and get their advice. But if we're not running enough tests and getting the right information, it's a silent building up of issues that you can't see until one day I have a severe problem. So lifestyle modification and functional medicine, functional nutrition, it's a whole different ballgame, and it takes time. And there's a lot of garbage out there. So I understand the skepticism, but that's why we do these videos, because we know we can help people. The data doesn't lie. And the testimonials, I don't ever pay somebody for a testimonial. I don't ever, I might ask for them because I want to share the story, but these stories are really what changed lives. So I appreciate you getting on here, man, and being authentic and transparent. And man, let's go save the world somehow.
I agree. I agree, Dr. Tim. I got to tell you, man, my family every day, they tell me, Dad, we're proud of you. Look, it takes dedication. It's not going to happen overnight. You told me that. You were right up front with me. You're like, look, I can show you what to do, but you have to do it and you have to want to do it. And that's what I would say to anybody who's watching this, Doc, is if you want to change your life and you want to get yourself in better shape, you want to follow this protocol. And if you listen to what you say and what you tell us, it will work. I'm living proof of that. I wake up every morning now in a whole different mind space. I get more sleep. I mean, all the notes I've taken, the journals I've done every day, turn those into you. You were able to look at those and see the drastic changes over time, that you just can't make those things up. That it's real. And that's really the one thing for me that keeps me motivated, is because I still have part of this journey to go. And I'm not going to stop now. I'm not going to fail now. Yeah. Is there times I wake up and I say, man, I sure would like to have, a big donut and a big candy bar or whatever. I choose not to do that now because I know how much it's affected my body in the situation I'm at right now. So I changed the diet, like you said. I've done the exercise. I continue to get better at my exercise. So the only thing I would say to everybody is follow the protocols, listen to what you say, and do it. And if you do those things, I'm going to hit the next, video I do with you will be me hitting my goal weight. It will be me showing the world that I'm 100 times healthier than I was, and that I have a longer life expectancy for my wife and my kids.
Absolutely. This is a point we try to make a lot with people, because we get so tunnel vision and we get so complacent with, we blame our age or we blame our whatever, blame. We have excuses. I have excuses. We all have excuses. But what areas of your life, just in a measly 4 months, what parts of your life have improved? I know you're one of the busiest, hardworking people I've ever met. And I know a lot of hardworking people, from business to family to, relationships to whatever. What have you seen improve by just improving your health the right way?
Um, you know, my whole outlook on life has changed. Okay. That's the number one thing. The way I look at my wife and kids, knowing that, my time could have been a lot shorter on this earth. At the end of the day, we never know that day, that when that day comes, but at least now I know that I've helped myself to increase the longevity of my life for my wife and kids and my family, and to be there for my friends, and everyone that looks up to me and, I support. That has changed. My outlook has changed. My sleep habits have changed. My eating habits have changed. Just the way I go about my day has changed because, with this protocol, I have more energy and I have less pain. I'm not fighting through all those things that I was fighting through before. So, that's been the biggest thing for me, is actually waking up in the morning, feeling refreshed, feeling healthy, ready to do this journey every day, and not looking back at the old me. I'm looking at the new me and what's going to be in the future. And that's what I've seen for me that has changed.
That's incredible. So, people get caught up with their health and they want to focus on treating individual things. You have to improve the physiology. You have to go all in. If you want to be healthy around for your grandkids and this and that, you have to go all in. Your health should be a number one priority. And I don't know many people that have that philosophy. So I try to live that way. I want to be around for my great grandkids, and I do radical stuff. I exercise 10 times a week, and I cold plunge and sauna, and I don't like any of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like any of it. I'd rather have the donuts, like you mentioned. It's a challenging process, but the reward you get, far exceeds any sort of donut taste or pizza. And we have pizza occasionally, but, you have to go all in with your health. And, I'm curious, how has it affected, you've got a lot of success in your life, business wise, and really impact wise. Has that changed at all in the past 4 months?
Yes, it has. The one thing that I've noticed, all my partners and colleagues and people I work with in the food and beverage industry, you know, they're always asking me, dude, what did you do? You look so great. Your color's great. You've lost weight. You're healthy. You have so much energy. What can I do? How do I do what you're doing? Because you travel a lot. You're on the road. You're eating out almost every night. How are you controlling this? What are you doing? And I tell them all. I'm your biggest fan, Dr. Tim. I tell everybody about your product. I tell everybody about the protocols and procedures you put me on. But the one thing I've noticed in my industry is a lot of people look at me differently now than they did before, because I've accomplished something that they want to accomplish. And it gives me a lot of credibility in the industry that I stuck to what I'm doing. And I think it's added, I think because of my appearance and some of the things I've done that's changed, in my body, I think I've been able to work longer hours and accomplish a lot more in my companies and for my clients. And I think I've brought on more clients because I am in a healthier physique than I had before. And I think that matters a lot to people. If you're selling a certain product and you don't look like you fit that mold, then they question if that product works for you. So it's helped me a lot in my career already. It's helped me actually gain a lot of people's confidence when it comes to giving them advice on what they should do. And like you said, look, at the end of the day, I'm just telling people what worked for me. It might be different for everybody else, but I can tell you this: if everybody sticks to the protocols and procedures that you lay out, they're going to see these same numbers that I see and feel the same way I feel. And hey, in the next 4 months, my life's going to be completely different than it is right now. And I never thought I'd be where I'm at right now. Like, if you would have asked me this 1 month before I met you, I'd always tried. I was a yo-yo diets. I've tried Weight Watchers. I've tried it all. I've tried shots. I've tried, pills. I've tried it all. Nothing worked. If it worked, it worked for 2 months, and then I gained 15 pounds more than what I started with. So that's what I've seen change in me, is my confidence level, my energy level, just the way I look at life, man. It's a blessing. So, my recommendation is, and to everybody, and anybody who watches this video, is do the protocols that you're telling everybody to do, and you will see change. It might be slower than mine, it might be faster than mine, but at the end of the day, I know it works because I'm living proof of it.
Yeah, and you nailed another kind of skepticism point. People we're all unique. If I check, 10 different people that get headaches, for example, they all have different profiles. And the main profiles we work on are: what are you deficient in? What are you toxic in? And what's out of balance? Because the body is so complex. There's 30 billion trillion chemical reactions per second. you have to go with those common sense approaches because that's what we have control of. So everybody's unique in that regard. Every protocol is a little different because we all have unique needs, even though some of them are very similar. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate your compliance. Appreciate your friendship now. Glad I met you. And I just want to share, these results with people so that we can help upgrade every part of people's lifestyle, because people, again, are just sick and tired and they're skeptical. And I get it. I have been too. And that's why we've, spent 15 years scouring the earth, literally finding the best solutions, the right tests, and the right protocols to help people, because there's a lot of funny, duddy stuff out there. So I appreciate you, man. We'll
Yeah.
continue this journey and make it even better.
And Dr. Tim, I also want to thank you for putting together the static exercise and weight program for me. That has worked tremendously for me. It's a lot easier than going to the gym and trying to figure out what to do and how to do it. What that has been incredible for me. The sauna has been incredible for me. It's life-changing. You're 100% right on that. I just had started doing some cold plunges. I'm getting better at that. So, I'm trying to take everything that you're teaching me and incorporate that into my everyday lifestyle. Even on the road, I find myself now Googling where I can find a sauna while I'm there and hit that sauna as many times as I can. And, you know, I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you taking the time to individualize my journey. And my family thanks you. I thank you. I'm beyond blessed, and having you as a friend now and having you as somebody I can bounce things off of is priceless to me. And
Yeah.
the fact that you brought me into your circle, I met your family. You have an incredible family. You're just a good human being, and I'm lucky to have you as a friend and lucky to be a part of this solution that you have.
You're incredible, man. Let's share this with everybody. I appreciate your time, and let's keep going.
You got it, brother. And my wife and kids thank you too, Dr. Tim.
Yeah.
Just know
Yeah.
that from the bottom of their heart.
My pleasure, man.
All right, buddy.